Buenos dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Like 4 tortas and a fucking slammed Cadillac, doors wide open, cheeseburgers in hands, with a whole bunch of bad habits. Bye up, bye up. You already know what it is. In a menudo style direct fashion, you guys see the thumbnail, so you know we're going to get into a serious topic. But before we do, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bells on all so that way you're directed in the direction of all the content that I'm bringing, the dope content. And thank you, and I appreciate all the support that I'm getting. And on we go. Let's go. Hey, let's move like motherfucking Oompa Loompas in a Willy Wonka chocolate factory. And just, they're moving and grooving. Sugar here, chocolate there, smiles. Everyone's happy. Now, what I wanted to discuss and talk about today was a topic I haven't seen most people speak on or talk about. It's pretty dangerous, pretty treacherous. When every individual is different. Everybody has a different style, and you can't dictate anyone's program. You may think you can, but at the end of the day, you can give advice. You could tell them which direction they should go. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them think, right? You could do whatever you have to do to try to influence someone into the right way. But do you truly know what the right way is? I don't know. I wanted to talk about Satanists in prison, man. These people that tend to go to the dark side. Guard, right? These people that have a different type of thinking, different ways. Is it wrong? Well, one never knows, does one? The wind blows in their cell. But so far, history has shown that, bad things occur when people are thinking differently. When they're thinking outside of the caja, right? Outside of the box. Satanism in general, in the world, is different. We grew up, a lot of us grew up, Mexicans in a Mexican household grew up Catholic, man. Let's just be real. Some Christians, Catholics, we grew up, with the old school mentality, our family pushing that narrative on us. Mijo, you have to go to church because that's where the Lord, right? And we don't take it lightly. Don't make fun of it. Don't play. Don't take the Lord's name in vain, man. We grew up with that. It's instilled in us, a lot of us, that there is a higher power, that there is something else out there, and that we should pay attention because, we, in this world, it is what it is, man. We grew up without that silver spoon. We grew up in the ghetto with rats and roaches and shiesty approaches. We grew up however it is that we grew up, man. And it's up to us to make something out of ourselves, to chase that bag, to get that, to utilize our talents and our skills to obtain the things we want in life. Not necessarily are all of us going to get it. No, it's a rat race out there, man, and everybody's racing. But, you can be anything you want to be and get anything you want to get if you work hard at it, or at least try. But there's a lot of people that are raised differently, that have a different mentality, a different way of thinking. Maybe they got touched by Theo Edward. I don't know. Maybe something happened to them late night one night, and they decided that they were going to lose their mind, that their mind was going to go to the dark side, because there's different options in life. See, life ain't all about one option. That's the good and great thing about the freedoms and liberties that we have right here in the United States of America, is that we have options. You have the freedoms to express yourself, to believe in whatever you want to believe, whether it's good or evil. It's going to make you smile or make you cry. You have choices. And these individuals on this thumbnail have definitely made choices to go in a whole different direction. But is it a different direction? I don't know. They've chose the other side, the other side of the fence. They've chose to invest their time, their efforts, their mentality, their mind state, whatever it may be, into Satanism, right? Into worshiping their higher power. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say something's right with it, something's wrong with it. But everything that I've seen is horrible. You know what I mean? It's nothing but bad. But a lot of people have asked me questions, during my time here on YouTube. And one of the questions that was posed to me and asked to me, or posed to me, was, is there a lot of Satanism in prison? Because they know that that's a place of desolation and not a lot of hope. A lot of people have given up. You got a lot of guys that are doing life that have definitely given up, man. They're conformed to what they have in front of them. That's their pad, their chante, homie. They're just doing their time and withering away. But there are some guys that are striving for better education. There's a lot of people that are, they're going to church, man. They're putting their faith in a higher power because they know there's got to be something better than where they're at. But there are those that have given up. They, without question, without a doubt, man. they've just given up on life in general. And it seems like a lot of these people that do still need something to fulfill them. You know, you still need something to feed your soul, homie. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Have you ever sat back and thought and really looked in the mirror and been like, hey, you know what? I see myself. All right. I see you. Hey, you look cool. You look smooth today, bulls and all that. But what's really behind those eyes, right? You could feel, a real person could feel their soul inside, alive, homie. You know, that's like me. My body ain't all that. You know what I mean? I feel old. Some days I wake up like, no, I don't want to, right? Some days like my chora, right? And then other days I wake up like, I feel vibrant, homie. I feel young. I feel ready to go. You know what I mean? Then the little youngster's like, what puto? I said, I was just playing, right? You got to feed your soul, right? You know, you can feed it with, you can educate yourself, read to yourself. But most people choose to lean towards a higher power because it makes them feel better. You know, it helps. I myself, I'm a true believer, you know, in the gospel and Bibles. And I don't push that right here on my channel because that's not what this place is for. This place is for entertainment, tell stories and have a good time. But I'm a true believer. That's one thing that I am. But you can't push one side without understanding the other, or at least recognizing it. And I recognize that some of these guys in prison, and not even in prison, just in life is in general, have went the other way. You know, they've chose the other side of the coin, meaning the devil, right? And, you know, the guy asked me a question. He was like, is there a lot of Satanists in prison? I haven't seen a lot, to tell you the truth, but there are. And these are a couple individuals on this thumbnail that have definitely chose that route, man, that display it with numerous tattoos on their face. And they push that evil narrative. You know, that's one thing I noticed about people that worship Satan or are involved, they're Satanists. You know, from my experience, you know, I don't want to put them all in one box, but from my experience, they choose to act out on their evil beliefs, on their sacrifices and the things that they believe in. Case in point, two individuals right there, man, that display numerous tattoos on their face to let you know exactly how they rock, what it is. And these are guys you don't want to be sold up with. These are guys that, you know, if I'm incarcerated, I'm going to think twice. You know, I'm going to take flight as soon as I get sold up with one of them. You know, Jaime Osuna, whatever, however you want to say it. Loquito de Bakers, Barrio Bakers. You know, this individual, for those of you that don't know his story, I've spoken on it, so many other YouTubers have. The real life Joker, the man of 1,000 faces. These are names that he's given himself. You know, this vato got 10 screws loose. Well, fuck it, 13 screws loose. Barrio Baker 13. This vato has definitely displayed and acted out what he believes in. Now, is it all for clout? Is it all for attention? A lot of the times I think to myself, maybe it is for attention. Maybe these vatos do this, get all these fucking pentagrams and all this devil worshiping shit all over them for attention. Maybe they didn't get enough attention at home. Maybe, you know what I mean, it's aggravated them to the point where, you know, they want people to fear them. They think that people will be scared of them. And it doesn't make people scared of you necessarily, but they're like, fuck, eh? You know what I mean? The exorcist, cabrón. They're thinking. It makes people think and wonder what's going on. You know, can I trust this individual to be the homie? Can I trust this individual to sell up with them? That he's not going to cut my fucking head off in the middle of the night? Well, Loquito, Jaime Osuna, definitely did that. You know, in Corcoran State Prison, this individual somehow was celled up with another guy, man. And, you know, push came to shove, and he shoved and he pushed, Holmes, and a head fell off. And it's not a laughing matter because this is truth. You know, when you have someone who's definitely has a screw loose, who practices and worships Satan, and these are the things that he says he does, and he's flamboyant about it. He's letting the administration, he's letting everyone know. Everyone sees it. This fucking vato got black all over his lips and eyes, right? Something's wrong with this vato. Is something truly wrong with them, or is that just his style? I don't know. But in this case, man, you know, that night, him and his cellie, something happened. I don't know if it was an argument. I don't know if he was already tripping. I don't know if his cellie was placed in there for specific reasons. A lot of things went on that night, and in the morning they found his cellie's decapitated body. This guy cut body parts off of him, made necklaces out of it, jewelry, blood all. I've actually seen the actual pictures were sent to me before. You know, I couldn't put them on YouTube. They were way too graphic, of the cell, of the body positioned. Just so many different things. And this guy, you know, I think he did it as a cry for help, a cry for attention, but then he goes to trial. He's making fun, mocking the families, saying he would do it again in interviews, that he's a true worshiper of Satan. Now, I don't know to what degree you made up that Satan wants you to kill people, but I mean, I guess so. In Hollywood and all these movies like The Exorcist that just came out, all these different movies, man, that's pushed to us. That's the narrative that's pushed, that these people will kill you and they'll sacrifice you and they're pure evil and there's a lot of hate in them. But I've actually sat down and talked to a couple people from the other side. People that are Satanists and they go to that church and they're just the other side of the coin, homie. They just believe in a different being, a different narrative than we're fed or we choose to believe. They didn't say anything about pure evil and everyone's souls and nothing like that, man. It was more so they're doing their thing. They're not pushing the propaganda on no one else. And it was up to you to truly choose and believe what you wanted to. Now, in prison, with Jamie Osuna, that was his own trip, man. I don't think that had nothing to do with Saint worshiping. Yes, that got involved in the trial. Yes, he did say that. Just like the Vato fucking the Night Stalker with the pentagram on his hand. He told him, these guys use that as a crutch. Just like when we say Bible thumpers, okay? Now, I'm a true believer in the Bible. But there's a reason why we say Bible thumpers in prison. These are the individuals that get locked up and get incarcerated. And all of a sudden, they find God. But who says it's a lie? Because God is known to come to you at your weakest points, when you hit rock bottom, when you truly need. There's people that actually need and cry out for help, man, and pray. And that's when he'll come to guide you. He's always there, homie, but that's when he'll lift you up so you can dust yourself off and try you again, right? So when people say Bible thumpers, it's not necessarily every person that chooses Christianity or chooses to go the Lord's way in prison, because a lot do. But there are also a lot, it's a 50-50 thing. There are also a lot of individuals while incarcerated that choose to use it as a crutch. Think that if they pick up a Bible and they go to a few Bible studies and they hang around with a certain crowd, it's going to eliminate the bullshit. They're not going to have to get involved in the drama. They're not, they're going to be considered a Christian, so not a threat. They could stay away. They use it as a shield, as camouflage, homes to wiggle, because they're truly cowards. A lot of these individuals, man, are scared to be incarcerated. They don't want to be in the position they put themselves in, so they use the Lord's name. They use the Bible as a shield to guide them in a different direction. Now, some of these guys will go and play it to the fullest, but they'll flip-flop. They'll be in one institution thumping like a motherfucker. Oh, yeah, man, we're going to see the king. Oh, yes, oh, Lord, right? And then they'll go to the next place. Hey, homie, Sasuke, what you got on my 40, Craig, right? Those are the individuals that people despise and talk about when they say Bible thumping. People that utilize the good word you heard as a crutch. Those are the people that I'd rather not be around, because those are called hypocrites, man. And those are the people that are not liked or loved. One thing that I will give the Satanists, their props on their flags. I'll just give from a distance, because I like my head where it's at, on my shoulders. From a distance, I'll say that at least they're about that shit. They don't flip and flop, homie. They either are or they ain't. That's just it. They're not using it as a curse. Some of them might be using it as an attention fucking catcher or whatever. And some might be just fucked up in the head mentality. Their mental is just all toe back. So that's why they're doing it. But like I said, I've sat down with a couple of Satanists, just in my experience, talked to them on the calles. And they didn't strike me as bad people. They didn't strike me as trying to fucking eat my heart and shit. They struck me as individuals that are just, they have their religious beliefs. That's their thing. And to each their own, homies. That's the great thing about where we stand and where we live, is that you're able to practice whatever you want. Now, if it starts to affect other people, if you're starting to go in house, look, we need 10 versions. I'm gonna fucking rip their liver out. No, hold on now, bro. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna rock with that. It's okay for you to fucking do the hip hop array, ho, pentagram, yo. All that's cool, homie. But when you want to start ripping people's fucking pancreases out, that's when I have to shy away from that, homie. You know what I mean? That's when I'm gonna have to say, orale, carnal, right? What's going on here? Let me tell you a quick little story. And the answer to the question is no. There's not a lot of Satanists in prison. And if people do practice that, they don't fucking tell everybody. I'm sure there's people that do Odism. I think it's Odism or whatever it is. Saints gang, Odin and Zeus and all that, man. There's a lot of the Gavas, right? The white boys, the woods, brother. You know what I mean? That practice their thing. They take it back to the old school, to the European countries, and they practice their shit. There's Catholics, there's Christians. When it comes to religion, there's so many different Muslims, and I respect all. That's why when it comes to the Satanists, I'm not going to disrespect them. I respect all, man. To whatever you believe, Holmes, whatever you choose to believe, that's you. Your soul is in a fight with yourself. You're gonna have to deal with that. Let me tell you, I was a CYA, right? There was a vato from Clanton, 14th Street, so very well-known barrio in the LA area. He's from West Side Clanton. And I remember he was my bunkie. And when I say bunkie, no, we weren't celled up together. The way they did it in Nellis, it was a fucking dorm. They had a short wall and a tall wall. The short wall were single bucks all the way up to a break in a wall, and then it was double bunks. The tall wall was all double bunks up against a brick wall and windows, just the way it was. And you bunked up with whoever, homie. You didn't get a choice. That's get your fucking ass on your bunk. So, but he's from 18th Street. I don't care. That's what it is. You know what I mean? So you better hope he don't shank you at night. I mean, you had to be aware, because you never know. Your cellar could be on the bottom bunk and just to the top. Anyways, my bunk at this time was from Clanton, right? No reflection on the water of Clanton. This is just where he was from, or what he was saying he was from. He was a white dude, right? A little different. I remember he went in there, he had it rough, man. I've spoken on him before, Vatos were tripping on him. Because Vato he didn't care, man. Throwing milk in people's faces, talking that high-powered shit. Man, I'm surprised they didn't drop him leva. But it was kind of like a situation where they were like, just get away, eh? Well, we got to conversating one night on the crack of the wall, right? There was like, he was on the top bunk, I was on the bottom bunk, and we could talk like that. And at this time, and I remember him saying, I was like, damn, bro, what's up with you, bro? It's, you stay up all night long reading this shit. What are you reading? I was interested. I was bored. So I wanted conversation. I was trying to be all slick and shit so the norteños, the homies didn't see me. And I'm sure the sureños would have seen me. Why are you talking to that vato? Hey, I want to fuck that vato, right? And he started talking all this Satanism stuff and how he was into it and he practiced it. And he was a young kid. We were young, man. We were young at this time. So I remember laughing to myself thinking, this vato's all fucking mixed up. But he truly believed that. That was his thing. He didn't push it on no one. Hey, you should join me, homie. Blood brothers for life. No, he didn't do none of that. That just was his thing. And he grew up, I actually had a conversation with him a while back, man. He reached out to me through this YouTube shit. He grew up, has a great family, great job. Man, he just walked away from everything, man. He's way out of the mix and doing great in life, Something he went through, it's trials and tribulations of life. People, they might believe one thing one day and something the next, But when it comes to this Satanism, a lot of people get a bad stigma on it. They're scared of the unknown, Are these vatos straight killers? And you got people like Jamie Osuna that do fucking heinous crimes and utilize the devil for that. Oh, it was the devil made me do it. No, Bob, also you did that. Like, I had nothing to do. Don't blame the devil. That vato's over there fucking with Katy Perry trying to get his whole shit sucked. You're the one. He's over there. I can't choose tonight. Is it going to be Doja Cat or fucking Lady Gaga? Fuck it both. Right? He was over there living. You know what I mean? Two horns and whatever it is. A tail in the middle. But this vato chose to do these crimes because he chose to do them. Just like Richard Ramirez chose to stalk at night because he chose to. A lot of these guys like to show the form of evil or Satan or whatever, Satanism, to mask what they really are. What they really are psychopaths. They're born differently or they've changed. A lot of people change. See, everyone are born babies. Good little babies. Look at the baby, right? And then they grow up with fucking horns and a tail. It just is what it is. But as far as, Satanism in prison, and do a lot of people practice it? And, is it condoned? Do the homies trip off you? Homies ain't going to trip off you on no religion. And I'm talking about raza. The brothers, they ain't tripping, man. The Woods, brother, we ain't tripping. They want their people to, practice something. If you're a Christian, if you're a Catholic, whatever, that's never been frowned upon. When it starts to get in the way of the politics or what's happening in our yard, now there's a fucking problem. Now there's an issue, homie. If it's guerra time, if it's time for war, you already know what it is, man. The other side's tripping. It's time to get off. And hey, I was too bad. So you don't understand. I'm the deacon. I had to go. No, well, you know what I mean. You're the deacon, but tomorrow you're not speaking. You got to understand that the organization, the group, wherever you're from, comes first. Spencer, homie, just the way it is. But if you want to practice your religion, go to church and everything, homes, do your thing. Ever since I was a young buck, from a motherfucking pea to a green bean, right? I always understood that church was never frowned upon, man. It's just when you start to do too much and people know you're faking the funk, then they trip, man. Then there's going to be issues. Then it's going to be like, come on, bro. Don't play with the Lord. Don't play games like that. Because a lot of people have respect for religions, man. You know, they respect it. You know, you see someone who's doing their thing, you don't disrespect them. And like I seen these youngsters do that shit to Sir Dino, David Rocha, you know, hey, this Northern man, fuck you, and this and that, and that's not that was not smooth criminal, homie. That was not cool at all. You know, you don't disrespect people that are out there trying to do good and help other people, man. What does that make you? That makes you a poop butt and a propaganda pusher, because real ones that are real gangsters, homie, that all right, I don't like this guy, whatever he pushes, they're just gonna push on, homie. They're not gonna disrespect, but it is what it is, you know what I mean? Anyway, Satanism in prison, I'm sure in other states it might be practiced quite differently. I'm talking about California here. I didn't see much of it, you know. But I know this. Let's just do fucking something, for instance. If they would have tried to sell me up with Jamie Osuna, this is the way it would have went. You ready? This is the way it would have went. Hey, Gunner, you're going to be selling up with Mr. Osuna today. With who? Mr. Osuna. Oh, the guy with the fucking things like that? All right. Sounds okay. All right, I'd have been that motherfucker. Okay. All right, give me 2 minutes. I need to get my soapbox. I'd have told myself, I'm so scared. Fucking shit, the crazy dude, eh? This guy be right back. What damn, right? As soon as that door would have cracked, I wanted to turn around like on some fucking crazy shit, right? I'd have been like, hey, what's up? I gotta be that motherfucker, ¿sabes? I gotta go, right? You know what I mean? And it would have been his head and not mine. He'd have been propped up like that. They'd have been like, damn, do you worship Satan? I'd have been like, no, it's God on mine, eh? Well, so scared. I'm fighting a holy war in this son of a bitch. And I'd have been gone. That's how it would have went down. Ain't no way I'm going to celebrate a maniac like that. And that's crazy. You know, I told the story before in Tracy. You know, they brought a vato from High Desert kind of late night in the evening time. Big old white dude. And I was his next door neighbor. And I remember him coming up and I told my bunkie, right? And I was like, damn, fool. My celly. Damn, that's a big old white boy right there. Damn, what's up, skin? Right? He was like, oi. Right? Motherfucker looked like fucking Bull Hurley from Over the Top, right? Big old white boy. And he's coming from High Desert for court. Tracy, right? We're still in reception waiting to go where we're going to go. And when this vato walks up, there's a little youngster, white dude, little Wood, right? Next door. And I know it because I've seen him. But we're in a lockdown situation at this time. I think it was a lockdown situation. Yeah, because they were giving us our trays. So anyways, when this fucking fool comes, he looks in the cell, he's like, I need to be celled alone. And I've told the story, and the guy's like, nah, man, we got to do it in the morning. I ain't going to deal with all that. And he goes, if I go in that cell, I'm killing my cellie. I'm going to let you know right now. And they're like, yeah, well, whatever. You know what I mean? Get to doing your thing. And he did. I could only imagine that little youngster I'd have been in that motherfucker like, oh, that's it. Hey, what? Did you hear this fucking vato say he's going to kill me? I'm cool. Hey, as soon as they'd open the door, I'd have wiggled out while he wiggled in. Straight up. The wiggler. Anyways, with that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming to you. And remember, man, when you ask questions, I'll answer them in a timely fashion. And Vato's like, you never answer my questions, Gunner. I said about Satanism. I said, calm down, Lucifer. I got you. I know you want me to push your shit. Look, bro, I didn't see it a lot. Ben saw Holmes. It wasn't like I was looking for it, but I'm sure it's out there, you know. But no, Vatos are not out there like, hey, we're going to the same church. No, they don't do all that. But it's some crazy shit, you know. And it's shit that you should read up on and understand, especially if you're religious. Don't just know good. You have to know evil to know good, man. It's just what it is, man. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive and struggle and strive for what I truly believe in. Later on, I'm going to be dropping another video that I want you guys to pay close attention to, because the channel's about to change drastically and tremendously. So make sure you stay up on it. Make sure you catch the second video later on. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose and get everything that you want. Thank you. Gracias. Appreciate it. On we go. Satan, stay back. I'm gone. Bye-bye. Bang, bang.